Welcome to Kids Learning Lab, a learning podcast made just for kids. Welcome to another episode of Kids Learning Lab. Before we start this episode, I want to let you know our website has been updated, and now it's really easy to contact us. Just go to kidslearninglab.com/contact, and you can send us an email, record a voice message, or more. If you want your question or episode topic to be answered, send it today. Remember, that's kidslearninglab.com/contact. Now, let's begin this episode on ancient civilizations. Before all the countries in the world existed, before borders and before all the world was explored, and after humans evolved from apes, there were ancient river valley civilizations. This episode will be divided into parts. Part 1 about Mesopotamia, Part 2 about ancient China, Part 3 about ancient India, and Part 4 about ancient Egypt. For more information on Part 4, be sure to listen to our Pyramids and Sphinx episode. But wait, what's a river valley? Most of these civilizations are based around a central river or two, which make up a river valley surrounding them. Now, let's begin Part 1, Mesopotamia. Let's talk about ancient Mesopotamia. The word Mesopotamia means the land between the rivers. That's because in Greek, meso means between, and pot means river. Mesopotamia is a region between two rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which are located in the Middle East, which is in today's country of Iraq. There are many civilizations that lived in Mesopotamia, so let's focus on the first one, Sumer. They lived in Mesopotamia several thousand years ago, and they were the first known civilization. Sumerians invented a form of writing known as cuneiform. This was an alphabet with wedge-shaped letters and lines. They had multiple gods, and at the center of every city there was a religious temple called a ziggurat. These ziggurats were big and pyramid-shaped. They also invented irrigation, which is when you pull water from a lake or river into a dry place so you can farm there or use the water. This is usually done through canals or streams. After Sumer, the Akkadian Empire took over Mesopotamia. It united all of Sumer and spread trade across Mesopotamia. After the Akkadians, the Babylonian Empire took control, and their famous king was called Hammurabi. Hammurabi created several famous laws, one of the earliest written law codes. These law codes had many rules that created the base for many other laws and governments later. Many different empires took over Mesopotamia, and as you see in our History of the Universe episode, the Persians and Alexander the Great eventually took over. Until then, though, culture from Sumer stayed throughout each empire. Let's move on to Part 2, Ancient China. Ancient China centers around the Yellow and Yangtze rivers. Ancient China was ruled by many dynasties in a dynastic cycle. Here's how it goes. Step 1, a new dynasty is formed. Step 2, the dynasty takes over and rules over all, and everyone lives in peace and prosperity. Step 3, the dynasty loses power and there are protests. Step 4, the dynasty shuts down. This cycle cycled many times, and there were multiple dynasties. Ancient China invented many things, like tools made of metals called bronze and iron, silk for clothes, and their own writing system, in which they wrote on animal bones and turtle shells. They also built canals for irrigation, like the people of Sumer did in Mesopotamia, and things like the Great Wall of China were built. Chinese people also invented paper from trees. People believed in worshipping their ancestors and dead. China also invented the calendar and built a steady government. talk about part 3 now, the Indus Valley Civilization. This civilization, now in modern India, centers around the Indus River. The major cities were Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Cities were carefully built in a straight pattern, and they had an advanced water pumping system. We also know that the Indus River Valley Civilization created jewelry and pottery, and created weights and measures. They also traded with Mesopotamia and exchanged cotton, grain, and beads. There were also public baths, a writing system, and some houses even had bathrooms with pipes leading to draining areas. We still don't know much about the Indus Valley Civilization yet, and there's a lot more to learn. Now, let's move on to part 4, Ancient Egypt. This civilization centered around the Nile River, the longest river in the world. It stretches from Central Africa to the Mediterranean Sea. Ancient Egypt developed mostly along here, and it flooded the area with water at predictable times, so farmers would know when to plant crops. They grew wheat, barley, and flax, which are different plants. They also used the river for trade, trading between Upper and Lower Egypt. The government consisted of officials and a pharaoh. Pharaohs were considered as gods on earth. They controlled religion, law, and the military. Here are some famous pharaohs. Narmer. He united Upper and Lower Egypt. Khufu. He built the Great Pyramid of Giza. Hatshepsut. She was the one of the few female pharaohs and was known for lots of trade. Ramses the Great. He expanded Egypt and built huge monuments. Egyptians were polytheistic. That means they believed in many gods. Some examples are Ra, the sun god, or Anubis, the god of tombs and death. Egyptians believed in afterlife, so they packed tombs with things they thought the people would need in the afterlife. Egyptians used a writing system called hieroglyphics, which were small pictures. They were used for religion, government, and more. They were written on clay tablets. They also built the pyramids and Sphinx, which you can learn more about in our pyramids episode, which will be linked to in Spotify. River Valley civilizations built the foundation for modern cities. Without them, we wouldn't have existed. Thanks so much for listening to this episode, and remember, you can send us your ideas by going to kidslearninglab.com/contact. You can also sign up for a free newsletter that comes with every episode at news.kidslearninglab.com. Thanks for listening!